The negatives are something that we flagged up on this show pre-tournament. I believe that England do have the players to win the tournament. There's no doubt in my mind that England have the players to win this tournament, player for player. It's all going to come down to how they are managed, whether it be from a formation point of view, team selection for the first 11 that go out and start a football match, and whether the manager on the sideline has what it takes to make the big decisions when they are needed to be made in-game management. That is the key thing. We have had 2 tournaments under Gareth Southgate where we have got to semi-final and final, and people keep saying that. We got to a semi-final and final. This is the best that we've ever been. Yes, granted, absolutely, you are 100% right to flag that up. But when you analyse the semi-final and the final within those tournaments that Gareth Southgate has been in charge of, we lost those games because of poor in-game management, delaying on substitutions, not being proactive, being reactive, and therefore the game getting away from us. That happened against Croatia, that happened against Italy. That is why we did not win the World Cup last time round, or get to the final of the World Cup last time round, and that's why we did not win the Euros when we played Italy in that final. We saw elements of this again this evening. Now, okay, there is a double-edged sword to this, because you look at this and you think to yourself, maybe he's just navigating the group. At the end of the day, we've beaten Iran, we're now playing America, we get a point against America, we've got 4 points from 2 games, it's still in our hands, we go into the game on Tuesday and we navigate that through. Maybe Gareth Southgate is looking at it from that point of view, but I keep coming back to the amount of incredible attacking talent that we've got. He waits until nearly 70 minutes to make his first substitution. Phil Foden is England's best footballer. I don't care what anybody says. Technically, ability-wise, he is England's best footballer. I am hoping that that lad has a knock.
He has got a knock.
I'm hoping that he's injured.
He has.
Because why is he not featured at any point throughout the course of that game? When we need people to be on the ball, to unlock the defence, to be able to carry the ball, to beat somebody.
He definitely got a knock, Geese.
Why was he not used? I can only use that as an excuse that he has got some type of knock, and I'm praying that that is the case, because if he doesn't have a knock, Gareth, Carlton, regarding...
I'm not Gareth.
Carlton, regarding Gareth is what I was going to say.
Is that how you view me, yeah? Is that how you
not
view
at all. You think a little bit like me, mate, which is, not, in my opinion, a good thing. But for Gareth Southgate not to use him if he doesn't have a knock, I think he's absolutely crackers.
No.
In a game like that, where he could go on that pitch and unlock the defence, especially when Saka's not performed, Mount has not performed, and then you've also got Sterling that didn't perform. Now, I know he obviously changed it up and brought Grealish on, which I supported that decision. He brought on Jordan Henderson to shore up the midfield. It was like he was conceding the game.
That's the thing for me. Like, he obviously conceded the game. When you bring in Jordan Henderson on a 0-0, that means you're not going after the win. Yeah. So for me, I felt. And then he did bring on Rashford. He brought on Grealish.
He gave Rashford 13 minutes. Now, people will say, Rashford scored with his first touch the other night. Yeah. Granted, sometimes it does work like that. Yeah. But 13 minutes in a tight game like that for a lad that uses pace, and there's no space.
There's no space.
There's no space for him to run into.
That's why Saka couldn't work today, because there's no space to run into. Listen, I felt sometimes when you've got to do your homework on the opposition. So sometimes you've got to look at it and think, do you know what? Although we had a great win the last game and everybody's happy, everyone's buzzing, you've got to look at it as in, okay, who am I playing up against? What are they likely to do? Are they as athletic as us, which you would say were, like athletically, they matched us? Is there going to be space in behind? Is Saka going to give that right back, that left back, a hard time? Probably not, because he needs space in behind. So what do you need? You need ball players. So that's why I would have said, do you know what? What you'd have to do is bring Foden to start that game.
Yeah,
but when I see that didn't happen, I just knew something was up. And it wasn't confirmed that Foden's got an injury. So no one knew. No one's none the wiser. So I'm not saying, because remember when I said I'll start Foden before Saka.
In this game?
No, I said it at the start of the tournament.
Yeah.
Saka scored 2 goals. He was brilliant. Yeah, I couldn't say nothing. But in certain games, you can switch the two. You can say, listen, all right, or you like Foden down the middle, so you can change it up a little bit. But for me, Foden had to play. I think if Foden played, it would have been a different game today. Definitely.
I don't think Gareth Southgate knows how to use him. I genuinely don't know, because his first instinct is to not lose a football match. That's his first instinct. Whereas Phil Foden plays under a manager that goes to win football matches. Trent Alexander-Arnold plays under a manager that goes to win football matches. Gareth Southgate's first thought process is, how do we not get beat? That's what he does first and foremost.
Of course, because he's a natural defender.
Let's set this up to not get beat, and then we will build from there. And that's what you saw this evening. So when there are no proactive decisions from the bench.
When he put Henderson on, it was to shore up, we ain't going to get beat, and I put on a few of my forward players to see what they can do.
But Carlton,
but there was no game plan to see what they can do, because obviously when you put Rashford on, when you put Grealish on, when you've put certain players on that's going to go and attack, and it doesn't happen, you just want to make sure that you don't concede, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But what is our weakness and what is our strength? When you look at the player for player that we've got across 26 lads,
it didn't look like to me there was a game plan. The game plan was
to not get beat.
To not get beat, and I think that's not what we want to see.
When we have got some of the elite attacking talent in the world.
What sort of message is that sending? Yeah, to other teams that are better than USA,
mate.
And we get to the later stages, they're looking at it thinking, "Oh, they play safe. We can just get at these lot." Do you know what I mean? We can do what USA done to them, and then we ain't gonna get hurt. If you understand what I'm saying, we'll lock off the space in behind, because it looks like that's all they're relying on.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, if Plan A don't work for them, they ain't got a Plan B. The Plan B is to try and get Grealish on the ball, trying to unlock and that will come down late. And he usually makes his substitutes late anyway. So it wasn't frightening for another side that's got a little bit about them to look at that and think, well, if we get England, we know what to do against them. That's the way I'm looking at it. I felt he could have sent a message today to everyone to say, we mean business. Look how Spain, they were relentless with Costa Rica. They didn't care. So we should have been relentless with USA as well.
The majority of people, obviously, that we spoke to here at the talkSPORT fan zone, where we are doing the show from live. That's why you can hear a little bit of noise in the background. Obviously, full of England fans that have obviously come down this evening to watch the USA game. When the team sheet came out, I get loyalty. I get you don't change your winning side. However,
this is the World Cup, man.
This is the World Cup, and this is horses for courses. You have picked 26 lads for a reason, because each individual challenge that comes your way from the teams that are presented in front of you will present a different type of challenge. Iran presented a certain challenge, and the team that Southgate picked, it worked on that occasion. It was obvious to everybody that we were speaking to pre-game. We were chatting to all the fans, and we were saying, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And they were going, listen, this USA team, they're very energetic, so good at the press. They'll be all over us like a rash. There will be nothing for us in behind. Why are the ball players, the ball carriers, like a Grealish, like a Foden, not on the pitch from the start? That is the big question. So here's the question to you, listening to the show this evening. 03717 223344. I flagged it up a couple of moments ago. We've had 2 tournaments under Gareth Southgate. And I know this is maybe just going a little bit OTT for now, but
yeah, it's only second game.
It is only second game. And listen, we are still in this, and it's looking like we are going to be going through to knockout phases. But I'm going to ask you this question now, right? Will Gareth Southgate cost us another tournament, managing like he managed this evening? If he can't navigate a victory over USA, can he really do it against France? Can he really do it against Brazil? Can he do it against the best guys in the world? 03717 223344. You're listening to talkSPORT. This is the Sports Bar Weekender.